Courtney, it's Saturday. The first thing you may notice is that I am no longer like blue, because I have a better light now like I promised. See? I may still end up getting another lamp, but this is the best one I have for now. Now, the format of this video is going to be a little different than the format of the videos before, because as you know, even with my awesome plan last week, I ended up rattling on and not being able to use a lot of the stuff I said. So this week, we actually have a point to the video. Now, the point for this video stems from a conversation Kirk and I had earlier this week. We were talking about—
Warning.
What's that?
Warning.
Do you hear that?
Warning. You are now entering a zone of extreme nerdiness. Please be careful and take precautions as necessary.
What I'm about to tell you is a little on the extra nerdy side. I better get my hat. Now I can tell you about what I was going to tell you. So earlier this week, Kirk and I started talking about time travel and alternate dimensions and how like every little decision you make changes the course of history, and how if you went back in time and you stepped on a bug, you killed your grandfather and the world is ruled by apes and all of that weird stuff. Hence the hat. And at the end of the conversation, I realized that the entire time I'd been talking about how if you go back in time and make just one little bitty change, then Susie never went to the flower store, so she never got flowers for the guy she had a crush on, who never dumped her for a girl that he liked better and had a kid that became the president, and the world is completely different. But then I realized I don't actually believe that. Now, this is something that I've noticed myself do quite often, and I think you can relate to it because you are one who usually cheers for the underdog. Very frequently, I will find myself arguing for a cause that I don't actually believe in, whether it's in English class or just with Kirk at the dinner table. I just do it. What I actually think about time travel is that every little decision we make doesn't actually change the future irreversibly, but rather that the universe has a plan semi-set in place with certain events that just will happen, and even though the way you get there might be slightly different, the whole future's not going to change because you stepped on a bug. And don't even try to tell me you don't do this, because you do it all the time, too. Because you always want to support the underdog, so even if someone says something that you believe to be true, you might support the other side just so that the entire story is told. That is, admittedly, a bit of an admirable problem, because it allows people to make a decision not based on just a small amount of information, but on a larger scale picture. But still! Tell me in your video response what you think about supporting logic that you don't actually believe in, just because it's there. I am going to keep the hat on. I think it's time we move on to our goals! As I already mentioned, the format for this video was a little different. I didn't so much tell you about my week, as about a specific event that happened that I've been sort of thinking about, and thought was interesting. Now, I am not going to stop telling you about every little thing that happens in my life, because I think that is just way too much fun to ever give up. But I am going to start doing more videos like this, where I have a specific point I'd like to make, because I also talk to you about those things, and since you're not here, I must do that through this vlog. So the goal for this week is to find a good balance between points and rambling on about my everyday occurrences. Talk to you soon. Love you! My purpose in life is a mystery.